Thanks for coming today. This is an exciting event for Franklin. We have an important story to tell today. I do want to, everybody come on down so that you can listen to the story. I do want to recognize two of our aldermen that are here this morning, Vice Mayor Skinner and Alderman Blanton. We're glad to have you here. And then, of course, we have a number of other dignitaries that are here that will be introduced as we move through the program. What we're going to do today is take you through the process of how we got to removing this Lowhead Dam. So to start telling the story, we're going to start out with our City Administrator, Eric Stuckey. Eric?
My name is Eric Stuckey. I'm the City Administrator of the City of Franklin, and I want to welcome you all here today. This is an exciting day for us. It is, sometimes we have groundbreakings. This is a dam breaking that we're celebrating here. The project is well underway, as you can see, but this is something that's been in the works for over 2 years as we've worked in partnership with the federal government, state government, local government, and community organizations to bring this together. And the whole concept is about removing this old dam that dates back to the 1940s and opening up the river for access to the public, to improve fish habitats, to improve water quality, yet still preserve the city's ability to withdraw water from this river for treatment and distribution to our citizens, which provides about 30% of our water supply and our water utility from this river. So all of that working together in partnership is what this project's all about. And as you look behind us, this steep embankment will ultimately become a much easier access for the public to get on this river, traverse this river, and we're proud to see that happen and really further embrace the Harpeth River as a centerpiece in our community and that runs through our community. This is a project that has gotten some recognition. We have partners from the federal government and agencies that have recognized it. The Department of Interior has highlighted this project, and we're proud of that and honored to be a part of this. In total, it's about an $870,000 project. A grant from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife is paying for about $350,000 of that. Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation is providing for the actual removal of the dam, and that's a project value well in excess of $100,000 from our project estimates. And then the City of Franklin is really filling in the rest, and we have other partners that are helping to provide in-kind resources that help this project go as well. So we're proud to be a part of it, and I want to introduce another one of our partners that's symbolic of how we've all come together to bring this project together, and that's Sandra Dudley. Before I have Sandra come up, though, I do want to recognize some specific people from the City of Franklin to help make this happen. Dan Allen from our engineering department has been our project management contact. Thank you, Dan. Mark Hilty, our water director. David Parker, our city engineer. Crystal Bishop from Stormwater. Jeff Willoughby from Stormwater. Anna Shuford from Parks has helped with the event planning. Todd Snackenberg got up on a bucket truck and put that camera up in that tree, complete with solar panel and all. Of course, Melissa Ryerson's helped us pull together this community event as well. So proud of our city team who have all come together to help make this happen as well, and proud to be part of that group. Again, let me now introduce Sandra Dudley, who's the Director of Water Resources for the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, to talk about TDEC's important contribution to this project. Come on up, Sandra.
It is such a privilege to be here today to represent TDEC and my bosses, Commissioner Bob Martineau and Deputy Commissioner Sherry McGrablian. What a wonderful day. We have beautiful weather and all the resources to enjoy such a spectacular event. Just a month ago, before I joined TDEC, I was leading another entity just a county away that relied on this very watershed. I was really proud to work with men and women who relied on this watershed to meet the needs of growing communities, but also to protect this watershed so that folks like us can enjoy it. Our work that resulted in the delisting of Flat Rock Branch in this very county was really dear to me. And so I'm even prouder today to be here representing TDEC, the agency that works with communities like Franklin to make it possible to further protect and enhance our watersheds and these great resources. I'd like to comment on three things today. First, the purpose of this project. A project like this has a shared interest in protecting and improving the quality of our natural resources while also promoting economic and other benefits of our natural scenic rivers. This project is a real-world example of sustainable practices that allow a community like Franklin to grow today and tomorrow while providing for both environmental and economic benefit. Second is people. Although we're watching the restoration of a valuable natural resource, it took a lot of people to make this happen. Just in our own department, we had permit writers and water specialists who encouraged the city of Franklin to consider all the alternatives available to it to enhance the watershed while providing for the needs of their growing community. Jane Polanski, who is the State Parks River Administrator, she's here and is long known as a champion of scenic rivers and blueways. We appreciate her contributions. Even closer to today's action, I would like to recognize Ronnie Bowers out here on the track hoe. Ronnie has been one of the men on the ground working with the City of Franklin to orchestrate the removal of this dam. Ronnie's work across the state of Tennessee has had positive impacts, from restoring wetlands to recreating original meanders in our waterways, and we're so appreciative of what Ronnie's done to help waters in the state of Tennessee. It's also about partners. This project could not have been possible without the great partnership with the City of Franklin. City of Franklin has had the vision to consider alternatives to their traditional approaches, and we want to thank Mayor Moore and the entire City of Franklin for its forward-thinking, proactive approach toward enhancing our watersheds while still offering economic and environmental benefits of the beautiful stream. We also appreciate the assistance of our state partner through the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency and also our federal partner in the Fish and Wildlife Service. We appreciate the efforts of all the stakeholders like yourselves. It's what we would call in the Water Lab too numerous to count. This effort represents dreams by Dory and others, and really hard work and elbow grease on the parts of lot that we so appreciate. We especially want to thank the Harpeth River Watershed Association. The HRWA takes a lead in assisting communities with understanding both the economic and the aesthetic benefits of the streams, and while protecting them. They do practical things like the cleanup after the flood of 2010, and they engage in projects like this with rather meager resources, engaging with partners such as TDEC and the City of Franklin and TWRA and others to provide very positive impacts. At the very front of the Harpeth River Watershed Association, of course, is Dory Bowles. Dory has contributed almost 3 decades. Dory has contributed almost 3 decades of very successful work in conservation. She has made a huge difference from her initial work at the Bronx now to Bethesda here in Williamson County, and we so appreciate her undying enthusiasm for the Harpeth River Watershed Association. As a graduate of the Yale School of Forestry and Environmental Studies, Dory is a legacy of the great American conservationist Aldo Leopold. So it's fitting today at this event that we borrow from his words. A thing is right when it tends to preserve the integrity, stability, and beauty of the biotic community. It is wrong when it tends to do otherwise. So I'm really proud to present to you Dory Bowles.
That was so nice of you. Thank you. Well, obviously, as you can tell, this is a big deal. This project is a big deal for lots of people. And I know we're all hot and the helicopters are waiting for Ronnie to start. So I will be very brief. This project we're looking at today is part of a national trend over the last 50 years. At least 600 dams like this have come out, and big ones all over the country. So we're taking down just only the second one on a river in Tennessee. So this is a big deal for Tennessee. Also, the Harpeth is part of the southeastern rivers that are unique on the planet for having the most variety of fish and aquatic life in the world. And most of us don't even know that we live in such a unique place. Right here, in this 1 mile river stretch, the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency found over 50 species of fish. That's twice as many as found in all of the Colorado River Basin. So a lot of our rivers in the southeast are highly diverse, they're very special. And for anybody who likes to fish, you know that. And so what's really cool today is this is not just about taking a dam down. It would be cheaper if it was just about taking a Lowhead Dam down. This is a huge river restoration project with about 5 or 6 major components. And I want to point out Beaver Creek Hydrology. Brian Belcher and Case Davis, they were the project designers, and this is a schematic over here. So if anybody's interested in some of the details, for example, people are really interested in this one new structure going in so that the city can continue to withdraw water. But what's beautiful and elegant about it is that it's safe, you can paddle right over it, the fish can swim up and down and through it, and the city can pull water, and as the river in essence is back to its natural flows and natural ecology. So this is a really, really wonderful national demonstration project. The other things that we're obviously doing is removing the dam, which is a blockage to fish passage, so this river will be entirely free-flowing. One of maybe only 2 or 3 in the entire state of Tennessee. That's a big deal. We're obviously restoring fish habitat and improving water quality, and then we're stabilizing the riverbanks, and we're reforesting this whole area. You don't realize it, but this project goes way upriver. So you see those red brick buildings over there, and it goes down this way. There's a creek here that's been tearing out the riverbank and is getting ready to take out, undermine Lewisburg Pike. We're going to restabilize all of that. We're putting in structures, natural structures to stabilize the riverbank over there. There's about 5 or 6 components to this project. It's a big deal. And then what's cool is it's also a beautiful, wonderful river public access. So you can come down here and enjoy it. It'll be shady. You'll be able to get in and out really easily. People come down here and they picnic. And right now they kind of climb down there and they picnic on the rocks in the river. So it'll be much easier, much nicer. And it's also part of the city's greenway plan. There'll be a parking lot back that way. That's pervious parking lot. It'll connect to the greenway vision over to the eastern flank, Battlefield Park, and down into downtown Franklin. So this is everything's all interconnected. It's very exciting. So in closing, I just want to, this idea has kind of been in some people's minds for over 7 or 8 years. And it was really, really happy that our organization was able to help secure the federal grant dollars. Matter of fact, I got the call from our partners, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, who told us about these grant monies. So I called up the city of Franklin. I said, would you like us to put in for this money, and we'll see what happens. And we got all of it, $350,000. That's like the most you can get. So it's really exciting. And it comes from a variety of sources, and our next speaker from the Fish and Wildlife Service will explain that to you. And obviously we're really appreciative of TDEC's commitment through several leaders. Paul Sloan was the deputy commissioner who made the original commitment, and then Dr. Sherry McGreblian followed and kept that commitment alive. It's taken a lot of leadership. Several mayors ago this whole project started, so it's been great to have all the mayors of Franklin continue to embrace it. And then last, I'd like to say that we've really been honored to serve as the overall coordinator. There's like 8 public agencies and 5 private entities at least. There's all the logos over there. And I want to point out the Dam Cam, thanks to Waste Management, and we're really excited about that because sometimes this area is going to be off limits during construction. It enables everybody to be able to watch. And just from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so very much. I'm very excited. It's not often that someone who's a river biologist can take out a Lowhead Dam structure. This will probably be my only one. So thank you all for the privilege. And I'd like to introduce you to Linda Kelsey is going to step up here. She's the Regional Director for the Division of Fisheries from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And then following her will be Lindsay Gardner from the Southeast Aquatic Resources Partnership. And then Bill Reeves, who's the Chief of Biodiversity at the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. And once they've given you some wonderful highlights about the wonderful wildlife value here, Mayor Moore is going to step back up and we're going to rev up the engines. Thank you all.
Good morning. Hi again, I'm Linda Kelsey. I'm with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service out of our regional office in Atlanta. So we oversee our activities in the 10 states in the Southeast. And then my actual position is the Assistant Regional Director for the Fisheries Program in the Southeast. And the Fish and Wildlife Service is one of many bureaus within the Department of the Interior. So I'm here representing a bunch of hats today, and I could have worn 3 different shirts with 3 different logos, so I just went with this. Besides, this is cooler. And it is hot, so bear with me if I try to rush a little, because I know everybody is very uncomfortable in the sun. But I just wanted to talk to you today just a little bit about some of the services activities with this project, and then more importantly, I wanted to talk to you about the administration's America's Great Outdoors initiative. So since 2004, the Fish and Wildlife Service, mainly out of our Cookeville, Tennessee office, has been working with the Watershed Association here in the Harpeth, EPA, TDEC, TWRA, and many other partners to address the water quality impairments and the habitat degradation in the river. And as you all know, these collaborative efforts have produced innovative strategies, designs like we've seen here today, that improve the overall health of the watershed and also provide enhanced recreational opportunities. And then in 2010, more recently, President Obama unveiled the America's Great Outdoor Initiative to establish a conservation and outdoor recreation strategy built for the 21st century. Restoration of our nation's rivers and increasing recreational opportunities is one of the keystones of the America's Great Outdoor Initiative. And then this past January, Secretary of the Interior, Ken Salazar, announced the Great America's River Outdoor Initiative as part of the Obama's initiative. And as you know, the Harpeth is a state-designated scenic river and is one of the most archaeologically and historically significant rivers in the state, and we certainly recognize the importance of protecting the water quality of such an iconic river. The Harpeth River Restoration and Fish Passage Project is a historic river restoration project, and the removal of the Lowhead Dam is only the second such removal on main river in Tennessee, on a main river in Tennessee. And in 2010, as was mentioned earlier, the Watershed Association received $350,000 towards this project from the Fisheries Program of the Fish and Wildlife Service, plus the Southeast Aquatic Resources Partnership and the National Fish Habitat Partnership. The Harpeth River Restoration and Fish Passage Project perfectly exemplifies America's Great Outdoor Initiative, and it is a community-driven partnership that will achieve conservation benefits that will last for generations. In fact, the Department of the Interior highlighted the Harpeth River Restoration and Fish Passage Project in a 50-state America's Great Outdoors report outlining more than 100 of the country's most promising projects designed to protect special places and increase access to outdoor spaces. It's also about jobs, like the ones that are going to be created here through projects of dam removal and as the restoration continues. And also, a free-flowing river will unlock additional opportunities to increase outdoor recreation and tourism that drive local economies. This project is truly a model for river restoration and shows what we can accomplish. Will Shafroth, who is the special counselor to the Secretary of Interior, will be available immediately after this event to talk by phone to any of you that would like that opportunity. And if so, see this man in the blue shirt. His name is Tom McKenzie, and he will make that happen for you. Again, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I hope one day to go paddle down that river myself on a much cooler day. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Lindsay Gardner with Southeast Aquatic Resources Partnership. I'm Program and Communications Manager for our organization, also known as SARP. We are proud to be a supporter of the Lowhead Dam Removal and Stream Restoration Project on the Harpeth River. It's actually through a collaborative funding program with some of our other partners, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Agency's Fishery Program and the National Fish Habitat Partnership. That $350,000 is being invested in the planning and design of the project, the removal of the dam, and enhancement of critical fish habitat. The provision of these funds through SARP to our on-the-ground partners, the Harpeth River Watershed Association, the City of Franklin, TDEC, TWRA, and others, helps to facilitate successfully locally directed restoration that addresses key regional habitat conservation targets identified in what's known as the Southeast Aquatic Habitat Plan, or the SAP. The SAP is a regional guidance document that was developed by SARP and a consortium of 23 state fish and wildlife agencies federal agencies and private and nonprofit industry representatives. These goals include ensuring adequate riparian buffers on rivers and streams, restoring fish access to southern waters, and improving watershed connectivity by the removal of barriers to fish passage, like the dam here, reducing the percentage of rivers in the southeast that have experienced changes in high and low flows and are impaired by sediment, and increasing the number of stream miles with improved in-stream habitat. The restoration of almost 2 miles of Riffle Run aquatic river habitat and the removal of the barriers to fish passage will benefit a variety of recreational fish species as well as the fine-scale darter and other species of special concern that are living downstream. As former TWRA Executive Director and SARP visionary Gary Myers once said, the Southeast Aquatic Resources Partnership envisions the southeastern United States with healthy and diverse aquatic ecosystems that support sustainable public use. Through the support of projects like the dam removal and restoration on the Harpeth River, SARP is helping to fulfill this vision. As a National Fish Habitat Partnership, SARP helps to identify National Fish Habitat Partnership projects, or NFHAP projects, that have the greatest potential for both successful ecological outcomes and positive community involvement in the Southeast. This year we are pleased to announce that SARP nominated the Harpeth River Project for NFHAP's prestigious 10 Waters to Watch Award, and that they received this national recognition as a 2012 Water to Watch. On behalf of SARP and the National Fish Habitat Partnership, we thank you for an opportunity to participate in today's groundbreaking celebration, literally, and to be involved in helping to preserve and protect the ecological integrity of the Harpeth River and to enhance the enjoyment of this resource for years to come. Thank you.
I'm Bill Reeves with the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, and our agency is extremely proud to be a part of this partnership to restore flow to the Harpeth River. As Dory said, there's over 50 species of fish in this river currently, just in this general area. We anticipate that with this restoration project that we can anticipate that there will be a few more species added to that list. Also, this is a diverse fish fauna out here that has over 40 species of mussels. And if you're unfamiliar with what a mussel is, it's just a freshwater clam. Historically, there were 8 more species out here, but they've perished in the man's activities that have occurred over the years. 5 of those species were on the federally endangered species list. But we anticipate with the restoration of this project and the continuous flow that will be established here that we may be even able to restore some of those species. This continuous flow and uninterrupted flow, the continuity that it provides for the stream enhances the quality of life for the creatures that live in that stream. So it's important to all of us to maintain that, to our agency in particular, and we feel like this project is going to be a tremendous success. Everybody's touched on the funding involved here, but one of the things that I wanted to mention is that Congress provides this funding. And in all these budget cuts that we hear about every day when you tune into the news, I think it's important to realize that when you hear about budget cuts, this is the kind of project that may potentially lose funding in the future. And all of that money that goes to conservation efforts ends up in some local project somewhere just like this one. So it's important that we maintain that funding base, because without that funding base, none of these type projects would ever be done. One of the questions we've received at the office in Nashville is, well, what about the winter trout stocking program? A lot of people are concerned that it'll disappear because the dam site was a primary focus of that activity, and we're going to maintain that trout stocking program into the future. We actually feel like this development will make it even better. So thank you.
Okay, this is the moment we waited on. So we're going to do a countdown, and at the countdown we're all going to say take down the dam. Okay? So, have you got your words? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take down the dam!